Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. Ours is a place where dreams take flight, voices are heard, and stories are shared. This is where cultures meet, connections are formed, and ideas are transformed into action. This is your destination for authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives, and meaningful conversations. We're where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover our world of education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our USA Global TV channel and download our USA Global TV app. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. With heartfelt thanks to our executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, music scored by Yifei Tang from Cloud Road Music, creative direction by Paul Garcia, and I'm Al Cini, and I'm very proud to be part of the USA Global TV and Radio family. So join us here at USA Global TV and Radio. Make us your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication, or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited. Thank you for being a part of our global community. Let's inspire together.
Welcome to You as a Whole, Body, Mind, and Soul here on USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and thank you so much for taking the time to join me. I am actually the interim TV show host, filling in for Justin MIRIGLIANI as he takes a little time away. So thank you for joining. Our topic today is an exciting one. It's something that actually happened to me yesterday. And as it was going on, as I came through it, I realized how much of what I experience is like what we go through every single day in our life. And the topic is hazard, lights, and hope, from gridlock to grace. So first, I'll share a little bit of information about what happened, and then we'll go into the lesson for today. So this show is meant to be uplifting, to give you reasons to have hope and to keep moving forward in whatever journey you're on in your life. So the opinions that I'll be sharing are mine and mine alone. So I hope that you'll be able to take something away from what I'm going to share today and incorporate it into your life. This show is every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 7 Central Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 1 a.m. in the UK. So yesterday I was driving. I met two of our beautiful team members for the very first time up in the Massachusetts area in the United States. And the drive back yesterday was supposed to be about 4 hours, but instead it was closer to 7. And the traffic was stop and go, stop and go. There was no real reason. If you ever had that happen, you're on a highway and you're doing 55, 65, whatever it is you're doing, and all of a sudden everything slows down and you're backed up for a mile, 2 miles. You see the traffic on the other side of the highway, they're just blowing by, no problem. And you finally get up further, a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, and there's absolutely nothing going on. There wasn't an accident, thank goodness. There wasn't construction. There's really no understanding about why the traffic slowed down. But you're stuck in it and you make the best of it. So after coming through all the traffic, I finally was rerouted onto different highways. And it was kind of fun because I was on a number of roads that I've never been on. And if you're someone who likes to drive, some people like to go the same exact route each time. I like to try different ways. So when the GPS decides to navigate me somewhere else, I always click yes, let's see where this is going to take me. So I went through different highways in New York, and then I finally ended up in New Jersey, at a part of New Jersey I've never been, going through this residential neighborhood. And anyway, I finally came out onto I-95, which I could have taken 95 the whole way, but apparently it was an hour more. So I went the toll route and it was fine. So I get on 95, I'm going through Newark where the airport is, and I'm looking at this huge highway. If you've ever been on 95, through New York down to New Jersey, and the Newark airport is there. And there's so many lanes. I don't even know how many there are. And then you see the huge cranes in the distance. It's really something that's amazing. So there's no problem. The sun is shining. It's absolutely gorgeous. I have 1 hour left to drive. And I'm thinking how grateful I feel that I finally am getting closer to home, because it's been a long drive. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the sky becomes completely black. It's black and it starts pouring. And after it starts pouring, then my nav system says, oh, thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm. And I thought, okay, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. So this is what it felt like at the time. It felt like the sky was black, it was thundering and lightning, and the road was actually getting flooded. And you know, when something like this happens, you can start to panic. You can think to yourself, I don't know what to do. Well, as this went on, it was interesting because many of the cars, as you can see kind of in this illustration, many of the cars decided to pull over on the side of the road. And I wasn't sure exactly what it was I wanted to do. So what I did was I thought to myself, I can pull over on the side of the road. And by the way, when you pull under the underpass, you don't have the rain anymore and you don't have the thunder and lightning. So many people were already pulled over there. So I thought, well, I could pull over or I could continue on. I wasn't sure exactly what to do. And when you think about this, this is life. This is life. We are in the throes of a storm many different times in our life. We don't know how it's going to go. We don't know, should we take a pause and go on the side of the road, or should we continue forward? So what I said to myself was, in that instance, I need a leader. I need someone who possibly has a larger vehicle than I have and maybe has different vision and perspective than what I have. This is exactly what I was saying to myself yesterday during this storm. So there happened to be two vehicles that were higher up and they both had their flashers on. So I thought, I'm going to follow the one in the left-hand lane and see how it goes. And so I was going about 15 miles an hour. And as long as I could see those flashers, I felt like there was a guiding light. I kept my distance and I kept following. And then all of a sudden, this person in the left-hand lane, they were getting flooded by water coming from the other side of the highway. So they moved into the right lane. So now both vehicles with the flashers were in the right lane. So I decided to move over to the right and follow through. Was I white knuckling the steering wheel? Yes, I was. And that's what we do in life when we have fear, when we're afraid. But yet, as long as I could see those flashers in front of me, those flashing lights, that vehicle that was the lead, I felt safe. And I said to myself, I'm going to continue moving forward. And here's the point. I didn't know how long that storm was going to last. I didn't know how long I was going to be subjected to this environment. But I knew it was only temporary. And that's how most things in life are. We're going through something. You might be going through something right now. It might be work related. It might be health related. It might be related to your family. But it's only temporary. Whatever the situation is, it's going to change. So if you can continue putting your best foot forward and moving through, you will come out on the other side. And that's exactly what happened to me. All of a sudden, the sky opened up and the sun was out, and it was as though nothing had ever happened. I got off the highway at my exit and my car was covered in water. And of course, it was hot out, so it was drying quickly. But as I merged into the traffic, I looked around and I thought, I don't see any other cars that have any rain pellets on them, just mine. Mine had the raindrops. And I thought to myself, just like life, none of these people in these vehicles will know what I've just come through. because their cars are dry and mine's not. They don't know the journey that I just took. And as a matter of fact, when I got back to my building and I got into the elevator, there were two very lovely people there. And I said, "Did it rain here at all?" And they looked at me like I was crazy. No, it was absolutely gorgeous. And I said, "Well, I drove down from Massachusetts and I got stuck in this storm, and it was like the end of the world was coming for 20 miles. And they said, "You'd never know because it was absolutely gorgeous here today." So I thought, what an interesting topic for us to discuss today. And if anybody's out there watching on the live, I mean, I can see across the platforms there are people watching on the live. I always ask, drop a comment, drop some peace hands, drop a heart. Let's see if we have any comments, by the way. We do actually. Well, hello, Leni. How are you? Nice to have you join us today. It's an absolute pleasure. And we also have MD Maruf Hussein. Nice to have you with us as well. Thank you. So for anybody else out there, please, we'd love to say your name and say that you're watching. Just go ahead and put something in the comments. So going back to what happened to me, all of us are going through different phases in our life because that's the journey of life. And many times we want to rush to get to the other side because we can't stand how uncomfortable it is in the middle. And I'll give you an example of this. I do a workout very often. I just did it 3 days in a row when I was in Massachusetts. It's called Solid Core. I'm not a paid spokesperson. I'm not a brand ambassador. I'm just someone who really believes in the results that I get. And this weekend, I took classes 1069, 1070, and 1071. And every time I go, there's always someone there who comes to me afterwards and says, "I can't believe what you did. I want to be as strong as you are." Yesterday, most of the class, I would say, if I had to guess, were just graduates of college. They were around college age or a little bit older. And you have me, 62 years of age. And so the premise of the workout, if you know anything about Pilates, it's you have a moving carriage and then you have two stationary platforms. One's connected by springs, one's not. So the base position is on your forearms and then on your toes, like a plank, a low plank, if you will. Well, most people will automatically drop to their knees. They won't even try going onto their toes. I haven't been on my knees on that machine in 2.5 years. And I'll tell you why. Because just like anything else in life, when you decide to take the easy way, the hard way will never be your way. You will never push yourself to that next level because you got comfortable in the easy. And I don't like easy. I don't like being comfortable and doing it the easy way. So I'm always on my elbows and my toes, unless it calls for a high plank, and then I'm on my hands and my toes. And so yesterday, it seemed to be extremely difficult because it was my third class in a row, and I didn't have even 24 hours between them when I could recover. And so the pain sometimes, it's if you've ever worked out, when you're working out, you're lifting weights, the first stage is you feel that burning in your muscles. The second stage, your muscles start to shake, and that's when you're really making a difference. And then the next day, you'll start to recover and you'll get even stronger. So my muscles didn't even have a chance to recover. So I was burning and I was shaking. And some of the exercises that we were doing, the Romanian deadlift, for example, my leg was shaking, shaking, shaking. But I say to myself, this is a 50-minute class broken up into 4 sections: core, obliques, upper body, lower body. We will only be in each of these sections for a certain amount of time. And each exercise is 3 minutes. It's 5 minutes. You can do anything for 3 minutes because soon it will be over and you'll be at the other side. But if you look around, if you were to take a camera and zoom around, you would typically find that most people will take a break. And the coaches call for breaks. So they don't call for breaks. They'll say, you can take a break. I'm not going to call for it. I don't take breaks because once you start taking a break, you always want to take that break. What if you didn't take the break and you pushed through? So back to my example of yesterday when I was in this unbelievable storm. I could have easily pulled over onto the side. Now, by the way, if you have a vision problem, if you have a medical problem, if you have major anxiety that's not under control, these are not scenarios that would apply to you. Okay. I'm talking about me, myself, and I. And if you can relate to it, that's terrific. But if I were to pull over on the side of the road, I had no idea how long that storm was going to last. But what I did know was I wasn't getting any closer to getting out of it. I was still stuck exactly where I was. So I want you to think about the example I gave when I was working out. When you're doing something, do you give yourself a way out? Do you come up with a lot of excuses as to why you don't have to do the certain thing? Well, I'm not going to do it today because, or do you commit to something and then change your mind because of fear, anxiety, overwhelm? I want you to think about changing your perspective. Think about those flashing lights. Think about the guiding light that I talked about. Think about how the sky opens and the sun is there. Think about how most things in life are temporary. Even health situations, they typically get better or they get worse. So, how are you going to show up for whatever your situation is? How will you find your way through the storm? I want you to think about that. And in the meantime, I'm going to parallel it to some real things in life. Think about something in your life that is your storm. Okay, I don't know what it is, but think about the stormy highway that we just talked about. That's life. That's your life. That's my life. The gridlock is fear, overwhelm, and uncertainty. The hazard lights are courage and visibility. Following the lights, to me, equals leadership, mentorship, and community. What do I mean by community? Well, I'm part of these other two vehicles in a caravan, if you will. That's our little community. So I could be part of the community on the side of the road, but I don't want to be part of that. I want to keep moving forward. Moving slowly, taking small steps, to me, means progress with grace. Wherever you are in your life, keep going. Even in the rain, even in the storms, even when it feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, I promise you, having hope will lead the way. Believing in something bigger than yourself, telling yourself, I am, I will, I'm doing. Take the word try and throw it right out the door. I'll try to be there. Either you're going to be there or you're not. I'll try to do it. You're either going to do it or you won't. I'll try your food. You're going to eat it or you're not. Try is a word we don't need. So as we look at the fall that's coming, it's a new opportunity. Of course, some places in the world, it's not going to be fall, but here in the United States of America, soon it will be fall. Soon we'll be having a time change as well. Think about how can you literally revamp your life? If the storm of life is that highway, we all go through storms, all of us. Sometimes people have storms that last for longer than other people. And we say to ourselves, I don't understand. Why are they in that storm? We have the skills and the tools to make the best of it and come out on the other side. And I'm going to give another example. We had a guest on one of our shows. This man is unbelievable. I'm not going to say his name, but he is very well known in the competitive athletic world. And he was diagnosed with cancer. He lives in another country. I follow him on Instagram. And he's gotten so many, as my mother would say, bad reports, bad test results. cancer that went from here, cancer that went to there, and he refuses to give up. It's got to be 2 years since he was on the show, maybe even longer. And they gave him a short window of time that he was going to be alive. And then since then, he's got skin cancers. They're cutting things out of him all the time. He has the actual procedures filmed. And then he talks about how he's going to go out and compete in these races, in these sporting events that he does. And it's unbelievable. Every time I see a post from him, I'm thinking, the guy refuses to go down. That's the person I want to follow. That's a leader to me. He's been dealt a hand of cards that he'd rather not be dealt. But guess what? The inspiration that he gives, he keeps picking himself up every single day for over 2 years. He's getting these infusions and injections and surgeries, and he keeps going with grace. So when something happens to us that is a minor detail in the entire course of life, when I say minor, what does that mean? In the entire course of your life, if you were to look over the whole thing, sitting where you are today, standing where you are today, whatever age you are, and you look back over your life, there's probably something that was worse than what you're dealing with now. Or maybe this is your storm that's the worst storm. But you will look back one day and say, wow, look how far I came. Unless you give up. If you give up, if you decide I can't go on, there's obviously ways that people can take things into their own hands. And of course, I don't advocate for that. I'm asking you to find the strength within yourself to search for those lights, to search for a mentor, to search for a leader, for someone you can follow, someone who's been through something and they've come out on the other side. Maybe they're bruised and bandaged, but they're still going. No one ever said that going through adversity is pretty. I've been through adversity. If you read one of my books, I was raped. You might not know that, but I was raped. And that certainly is something that I don't want to relive. But I refuse to give my power to that individual. I refuse. I put it in a book so that it was out there. So I got it off my chest and I put it out there for the whole world to know that that's the situation. Because sometimes you look at someone and you go, what does she know? What does he know? Everyone has a story to tell. I've shared with you, I have ulcerative colitis for 35 years. Imagine this person, this vessel in front of you, wearing a diaper. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine running to the bathroom 40 or 50 times a day and not making it, lying in your own waste? Okay, that's not pretty. It's not glamorous, but it's the truth. And here I am today. If I hadn't gone through all those things, if I don't continue to go through those things because there's no cure for ulcerative colitis, I wouldn't be here today to be able to tell these stories and to inspire other people to give yourself grace. When adversity comes, think to yourself, what am I supposed to learn from this? Even though it might be painful, even though it might be uncomfortable, even though you might look around and go, wow, everybody else is out doing this and I'm stuck here with this. What are you supposed to learn from it? So when you come out of this situation on the other side, you can help somebody else. You can be the one lending the hand and saying, hey, it's going to be all right. You're going to get through that storm. You're going to get through the darkness. You're going to get through all the scary parts, the lightning and the thunder, the gusts of rain coming across you. They're going to come and they're going to go. If you think about the trees, have you ever seen a tree that has been around for a long time? We don't know exactly how long, but you can tell by the roots. You can see the roots, how far they've grown. You can look up and see how tall the tree is and imagine all the storms that tree has weathered. All of the years of being beaten by bad weather or people trying to knock you down, and yet you're still standing strong. We're going to take a quick break. And then we're going to come back and I want to share some other things with you. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please go ahead and share them. I'm really happy to answer anything that you might have. In the interim, I'd like to encourage you to rep our brand, USA Global TV and Radio. We've got merchandise. We've got pajamas. This store has everything you can think of. And our logos are on there. So whether you're a guest, you've been a guest, whether you're a fan, whether you have a family member who's been on, we've got something for you. Check it out.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
Welcome back, wherever it is you're watching from. We'd love to have you subscribe to our YouTube channels. We've got a graphic up here for people who are listening on a podcast platform. Our two channels are USA Global TV and Radio and Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Soon it's going to be Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, the listening mentor, because I recently had it trademarked. Okay, so today we've been discussing something that actually happened to me yesterday, which was getting caught in a storm, not being able to see your way out, but making decisions, moving forward, giving yourself grace, and looking for that person or persons whom you can follow, who will be your leader, who will be your mentor, so that you can come out the other side in the sunshine and you can lend a hand and you can help someone else. I want us to focus on something which I think is definitely in alignment with what I'm talking about today. When I'm talking about coming out of your situation and coming out on the other side, I want you to think about all the areas of expertise and knowledge that you have based on your own life experiences, and how can you help someone else? How can you be of service to someone else? We're living in a world where many people are disgruntled, they're angry. The current administration in the United States and also other countries, people are not happy about things that are going on. Some people are thrilled, some people are not, and some people are not talking to certain groups of people, and some people are just going out on their own and handling matters themselves. How can we help one another as a global community, as humanity caring for each other, that we can actually help deliver a peaceful experience? I'm going to turn the show topic now into gridlock to grace. And to me, grace means living with peace. So when we're worked up about something, when we are overzealous, when we're anxious, when we're depressed, when we're morose, a lot of negative lower level energies, we are not living in peace because we're tormented. And when we're tormented, it affects every part of our being. So I'm asking you to consider living a different way, living a peaceful life. As a peace ambassador, my role is to teach people about conflict resolution. It's to teach people how to be kind. And so there are 5 basic peace actions that I'd like you to consider. I am a peace ambassador with World Citizen Peace. I've been taking extensive training on Saturdays for 3 hours. I also just attended a peace conference. And so World Citizen Peace, these are 5 peace actions that when you think about moving from gridlock to grace, incorporating peace in your life, how? First of all, seek peace within yourself and others. What does this mean? Being peaceful means taking the emotion of your situation, acknowledging it, putting a boundary on it. For me, I give myself 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes, Jacalyn, to have a pity party. You have 10 minutes to be angry. You have 10 minutes, whatever it is, lower vibrational things, even happiness. If I'm overjoyed and exuberant, sometimes I can be so happy about something and then I'm distracted from other things that I need to accomplish. So I have a 10-minute window. I don't know how long your window can be, but you can work on it. So mine's down to 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, I am returning to a peaceful state. If you know anything about me, I'm typically like this, which is go, go, go. I'm not somebody who is in a recliner watching television. I'm not someone sitting on a beach. I'm not someone who is walking through the meadows. And by the way, these things are all great. I'm not saying not to do any of them. I'm saying you can do as much or as little as you want. What I'm saying is find a way on a daily basis in and of yourself to find peace. That might mean giving thanks. It might mean prayer. It might be meditation. It might be yoga. It might be affirmations. There are many different things. It could be reading, whatever it is. But I want you to find something, a tool that you can use regardless of where you are. So I mentioned to you about the beach and about the meadow. Of course, that's beautiful. Of course, walking on a beach, walking through a meadow, but maybe we don't have access to a meadow or a beach. We have access to this. This is what we have access to, this and this container that we're in. So finding peace, again, is moving from the gridlock to the grace. So for me, what do I do? First of all, when I wake up in the morning, I am so happy that I can see, that I can hear, that I can breathe. All these things we take for granted. My mother couldn't hear out of her one ear. She couldn't see out of her one eye. My dad couldn't breathe and had to be hooked up to a machine. Okay, I have an intestinal tract system that is a mess. Okay, so I say to myself, you know what? I had a really good night's sleep. I can see, I can hear, I can breathe. I get another opportunity to go and create something. And that excites me beyond words. So I give thanks. The next thing I do is I immediately, before I go and sit down at my desk, I immediately think to myself, what do I want to accomplish today? I have journals. I write things down. I love crossing things off as I do them. And when I'm writing things down, I'm coming up with a plan. When I have the plan, I'm at peace. Because if we don't have a plan, it's like this image that I showed. I keep showing it. Without a plan, my plan, I'm going to follow the lights, the hazard lights. They're going to be my line leaders. Without a plan, we feel lost. In my situation, I'm alone. Okay, my mother was my best friend. She passed away. I don't have another half, a better half, a whole, as we say, because we can't have a half completeness. I don't have children. I have me, and that's all I need. You have you, and that's all you need. But many times we don't think that. We think we need someone else to complete us. We need someone else to listen to us. I spend most of my time listening to other people, and that's why I'm a listening mentor. I really care about what people have to say. I care much more about what people have to say than what I have to say. So thank you out there for listening to me, because I appreciate that you're listening to what I have to say. So with all the people I've interviewed, probably 7,500 people, just since I started doing this. When I was in corporate, I interview people too, but in a different way. I've learned that at the core, there are certain things we all have in common. We want to feel safe. We want to feel loved, and we want to feel heard. So if we go back to these 5 peace actions, seeking peace within yourself and others, obviously we cannot control what anyone else does or says. We can only control ourselves, but we can control who we let in our inner circle. If you have people in your life who are always stirring the pot, they love the drama, they love the chaos. If you are looking to come out of the storm on the other side, Maybe you don't want to be with those people. If we think about this storm again, it's such a great analogy. Imagine if an 18-wheeler decided to come barreling through the highway, right, with no regard for anyone else. And even though there's a storm, they decide they're just going to drive 70 miles an hour and the water is coming up on all of us. They're creating chaos. And we have people like that in our lives. We don't need the chaos. We can set a boundary and we can say, no, I'm not having it anymore. I've decided that this is not a good relationship for me. It's dysfunctional. I want peace, peace within myself and peace within my inner circle. If you have any questions about that, put it in the chat. Okay, reach out in service. I talked about this a little bit before. I feel with all that we have in our lives, we have so much. Wherever you are in the world, there is definitely someone who has less than what you have. And there's definitely someone, except for probably a few elite people, who has more than what you have. But what at the core of it is, it's our soul, it's our spirit. It's that internal drive, that intuition that guides us, that says, let's help the next person. That's how I feel, at least. Let me help someone. On this platform, I am very honored that I get to help people all across the world in many different ways. And I don't keep track of it. Some people keep track. They keep a mental list. Oh, by the way, 3 years ago, I did this for you. I don't do that. I don't have time for that because I'm moving ahead. So think about how you can give back, whether it's through a charity, whether it's through volunteering, or whether it's just helping someone in your life who really needs a hand, whatever that way is. And do you have to take credit for it? Can you anonymously help someone? What a beautiful thing to do as well. Next, protecting the environment. The other day, I actually could not believe this. First of all, and for those of you who smoke cigarettes out there, smoking anything, please be considerate. I saw someone just throw their cigarette out their car window, and I thought, really, in 2025, people are still doing this? Be considerate of the environment, because we're not the only people who are here. We're going to be here for a certain amount of time, and then other people are going to follow us. Somebody set the table for us. Let's set the table for someone else. There's so many ways we could talk about protecting our environment, but I know that you can think of one or two things that you can do to make this a better place. Respecting diversity. I love when I travel and I see so many people who look different. They speak differently. I love it. I want to learn as much as I can from them. I think it is so incredible to go to a different place and learn about the culture that they have there. I'm so curious. Are you curious? If so, what are you curious about? Follow that curiosity. Don't be afraid. Keep moving forward. And finally, be a responsible citizen of the world. And this seems to be common sense, but it's really not, because sometimes we feel like we're the victim, like we deserve something more than someone else. No, we're all the same. We're all the same. We're all here collectively having a human experience. So let's lift each other up. Let's help each other get through the storms and pass on the knowledge that you gained by going through your storm, because I promise you, someone will appreciate it. Many times when we're going through something, we think we're the only ones going through it, only to find out after we do some research and we join a support group that we're not the only ones. I thank you for listening to me today. I truly appreciate it. I hope you'll come back and watch this show and our other shows. We've got about 60 different shows. I have an incredible team of people across the world that I'm so honored to call my friends. And I just want to encourage you to subscribe to our channels. I do have a few quick messages I'd like to share with you, because there are things that you might not know about. In addition to the fact that I founded this platform and that I'm actually producing this show as well as hosting it, I'm also an author. And one of my books, I now have the second edition out. It's called Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. And this includes Judgment Detox, as well as some other upgrades from the first book. And then my newest children's book is out, Lady Ella and Lord Jack's Kindness Adventures, spreading kindness one adventure at a time. There's actually 8 other books before this. Lady Ella is in all of those, and now she's a brother, Jack. So now they have a new book together. And in addition to that, I also do the best I can to help people by offering courses and opportunities to come and learn. And I try, seriously, I said try. No, I don't try. I give really good pricing, I believe, so that people in different parts of the world can take part in the things that I do. And what do I mean by that? Somebody in Africa, for example, is not going to be able to afford the same things as someone in another country. And so I think about people in all different parts of the world and what price point can I come up with so that this can be open to people. And so it can be very inclusive as opposed to exclusive. So let's take a look at some of the things I want to offer. First of all, I want to share with you, you are welcome to be a guest on our shows. If you would like to be a guest, what do? You go over to our website. And by the way, these links are all in the show notes. It's usaglobaltv.com. This is our website. This is where everything is. You can come here and find out about our shows, about our listening retreat. If you want to have your own TV show, we have shows in German now. We also have shows in French. You would come here to book your session. Book your session is where you come if you're interested in taking one of my courses or you're interested in being a guest on one of our TV shows. Now, here's the boundary. Every person is invited to be in 3 interviews a year. 3. There's no charge, free of charge. After that, we charge $57.99. Again, a very nominal rate to be on our platform with all of the viewership that we have across the world. Why do we charge for the 4th, 5th, 6th, etc. interview? Because you've been here 3 times in a year. Let somebody else come. Let someone else get their story out there. And if your story is really that different from what you shared before, okay, you pay $57.99 and you can come back. We've got testimonials here about people's experience with us. We've got our merchandise that I talked to you about. This is Mariska. She's one of our Talking Heads expert presenters, and she's in Australia with our mug. And we've got Reverend Lydia. She's a TV show host. She's in Canada. We've got Ian Palm-Turner. He's a show host. He's over in London. We've got Tracy. She's a show host, and she's in Washington State. We've got Kimberly. She's a show host. She's in California. We've got Dr. Madeline Chan. She's a show host and she's in London. So we've got that and so much more. So we also are on other platforms. We have distributors. So if you're interested and you want to have your content on additional platforms from ours, we can do that for you through our distributors. You have that opportunity. We've got a number of shows that are from the United Kingdom. You can check that out here. Here's where you come to book your session. So in this first opportunity, this is the reunion show. We have a reunion show twice a year. If you're interested in coming, you get your 15 minutes of fame, meaning you're in the spotlight. For 15 minutes, you get to talk about what it is that you do. And so that's coming up. The next one's in January. We also have our retreat, From Chaos to Calm, Mastering the Art of Listening and Finding Peace. We actually renamed this. And so this is a 2-day retreat. We're having difficulty getting it booked out for the 2 days, and the venue where it's taking place, they need certain numbers. So I think this might go down to 1 day. So I'll be updating that most likely. Here's a new course, Echoes of Our Origins, how where we come from shapes the way that we listen. And this is actually based on a book that I purchased from some authors who were attending the Peace Conference that I went to. Here's my signature course, Setting Boundaries and Asking Permission. And then we have Assertiveness in Relationships. So you can see all this. You can come down here, Judgment Detox. This is a course that I am offering, Building a Community, A Hero's Journey, every Tuesday until the end of the year. What is this about? Okay, this to me is so important that I actually have a show graphic for it, and I'm going to pull it up. Okay, if you are someone who is looking for clients, you are looking for followers, you are looking for fundraising, I'm going to teach you the skills that you need in order to convert storytelling from problems to promise, from proof to proposal. And we're going to do something called the golden circle. So there's a number of things that we're going to do, and it's open to anyone. You can go ahead and register on the website. So I hope that's been helpful for anyone who is interested in joining our team in terms of being a guest or being a TV show host, or if you're interested in taking any courses for personal and professional judgment. Today's episode has been on hazard lights and hope, from gridlock to grace. Thank you so much for being here. This is Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck signing off on You as a Whole, Body, Mind, and Soul. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at our next show. Bye for now.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USAGlobalTV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.